Welcome everybody, we are finally into a game for this tournament once more. This is going to be coLSteak, who is also known as coLStalife, a player you guys should be very, very well aware of. He's Terran in the bottom left against LagTTferfe. He is the Terran in the top right, so we're seeing a good old TVT on TSL3 GSL Crevasse. I'm Xander saying hello, and why don't you speak as well?
Yeah, this is Raven Wolf, one of the founding members of Gosu Crew here. Fellow Protoss player, much like Xander, here to enjoy the show as we hit the grid in this always exciting North American Zotac Cup at number 6. Definitely love the fact that they let us be here each week to enjoy the show and give you guys some high-quality entertainment. But sitting here with max spawn distance in a TVT, this could set up to be a very, very long match.
It'd definitely be interesting. Positioning is going to be huge. This is a best of one, so you do not want to do anything foolish, and these guys are going to be careful. And the winner of this does go into the grid part of Zotac Cup. So this is also the 6th Zotac Cup. You guys should definitely get into that tournament. It is open. If you guys want to go into it, you just sign up for it, check in, and get in the tournament. You can play against people of this caliber, which is going to be quite amazing.
Yeah, definitely gonna be very exciting. I mean, it's nice that nice to have a solid North American Cup. That's it's $100 every week, which is nice for everybody to just enjoy. Because there was a sufficient lack of those, unfortunately, in the North American scene. But the Zotac guys got a long history, and they're like, well, let's expand. So they did, giving us some good entertainment as these guys go out and try and find each other. coLStalife actually gonna bump right into them right there. A little SCV kiss going on. Not quite as cool as an Overlord kiss, but close enough.
I mean, the Overlords actually go on top of each other. Since neither of these guys tried to phase through the other one, there was no going on top of each other that took place. So that is very unfortunate. That could have been very entertaining.
Oh yes, but of course, everybody wants a little SCV on SCV action. So.
Alright, so now Ferfe is going to go ahead and throw down a tech lab after a single Marine. That should be enough to thwart coLStalife's SCV from coming up. Will it, though, as they're both going all the way down? Ferfe just not going to even hit that. Huh, so coLStalife is going directly into the base of Ferfe without any contest.
I guess he doesn't really mind being seen, apparently. I mean, obviously, coLStalife took the effort to go take out that SCV, although he did go and wisely scout out as much of that base as he could to make sure there wasn't any sneaky business going on. But, he's just allowed him to give away all of his scouting information, which is an interesting choice, but,
Actually, no, it was a misplaced rally point on the barracks. That's what did that.
Ooh, was the barrack. Ooh, that'll...
Yeah, he actually...
Little things like that will kill you long term. I mean, obviously he's rallying them to charge in with an early. I mean, he's got it rallied in a very aggressive position, so he's obviously looking for an early win here, possibly, or at least a little early pressure. But we'll see how it plays out. He's got a Reaper coming out now as well, so.
That's why the rally was there. We are seeing a Reaper expansion as the command center did get thrown up by Ferfe, so it should be a pretty economic move on his part. You can see that coLStalife at the moment, however, has got 2 gases going down, and he might be going for Blue Flame Hellion drop as he's got the factory completing the tech lab right now. And nope, it's going to be Banshee, so you just get the tech lab really, really early. This is what I'm assuming it's going to be. It's generally what this pattern does go for, and there is this Reaper going to go ahead and possibly get hit, but coLStalife could take it out really easily right now from the high ground, and it does. Ooh, that is a really unfortunate Reaper. I don't think it actually got any scout information. They just popped up and stopped moving. I'm screwing up my camera movements. Yeah, by the way, guys, my camera movements are going to be pretty horrible at times, as right now I'm doing this all one-handed on a laptop using a trackpad, because I'm a righty and I have shoulder surgery, so my right arm is completely incapacitated, so it's all lefty one-handed, so my apologies on that.
Yeah, if you ever have to, you can lock the camera on me. If it becomes an issue at some point, just let us know, and we can switch camera perspectives. But
I should be okay. It's just a matter of when I have to dart across the map. It's like, oh dear God, oh no.
Yeah, Ferfe obviously coming in here with this Reaper now to see what he can see. Maybe he doesn't see an expansion, because there isn't one. And now just going to get repulsed by these Marines, so hopefully that was what he was looking to see, so he knew he could pin coLStalife on something, but actually he's going to be forced to do the scan. He didn't get to see what he wanted to see, so Having to use one of his scans, unfortunate. Much rather use him for mules at this point in the game if you can. Actually getting the Reaper speed upgrade, which is something I haven't seen in forever.
Yeah, that's how this is kind of refreshing to see. This is a very, very interesting take on TVT. Ferfe's also got a medevac. He's ready to do a Hellion drop, as it seems, but it's going to be Blue Flame. He could theoretically research it. He's got the money for it. And so he's going to get Siege mode. So he's going to try and get into a normal TVT. The problem is that there's actually going to be a Banshee. Where is that Banshee?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see where it went.
Natural expansion. There we go.
Yeah, he's attached to the natural. There we go. He just taken out that one missile turret before it finishes. Another one going up. One is finished, so he does have relative safety from that Banshee, but not quite 100% covered on that mineral line just yet. So StarLife wisely just going to take the Banshee and poke into the main here and see what he can see. There's another missile turret in a conveniently located spot. Sniping off these SCVs to keep them from finishing these supply depots. Hold down the supply count as much as you can, but he's not really in any danger of being supply blocked at this point, so it's not going to be too much. Although, is he going to kill it? No, he might. No, I think that siege mode will finish before he can kill that, looking at the amount of time left. That would have been a huge pick if... Yeah, it did finish. Yeah. That was actually really close. If he had been able to kill that right before, that would have been a huge loss to not have the siege mode finish and have to restart.
It's already a very large delay. This Banshee is doing a lot. It may not be direct SCV kills a lot of the time, but he's killed off turrets, he's killed off SCVs, he's killed off supplies, and finally a scan's going to happen, and that Viking should be enough to take it out. It does fall, but StarLife did a great bit of damage with that, and he's actually using this opportunity with this starport to just not even get anything more. It's just going to be losing its tech lab onto this barracks as StarLife's not getting his tech mode.
Going around with these Banshees and being ridiculously effective. I mean, he forced Ferfe to get out of Raven, and probably a wise decision at this point, because he did way, way more damage than he should have been able to with a single Banshee. Especially when you've got two command centers. I mean, he must have just timed it. I wasn't paying attention to the energy, but he must have timed it in such a way that he had just dropped his mules and he had to wait, which is really unfortunate for him. But, you know, bad timing happens, and guys like StarLife will take advantage of it every single time. But Ferfe now going to opt to build an armory here, so he's about had enough of this Banshee business, and going to be getting some upgrades, probably some Thors we'll see as well at some point.
And a Reaper/Hellion drop's happening from Ferfe right now in the bottom left. He's running around the left side of the map, trying to get into the mineral line of StarLife on the south side. He actually might be able to do that. There it is. One Hellion goes down. There are Reapers, but there are tanks here ready to deal damage. And looks like he should be able to escape. Marines aren't fast enough to catch up to him. And it looks like StarLife just repelled this without really taking any losses.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the more interesting drop combinations, Hellion Reaper, that I've ever seen, really. You don't ever see that kind of thing go on anymore. It's even gotten to the point where Blizzard's talking about getting rid of Reapers entirely because they feel that they're useless or overpowered. So it's kind of interesting to see some Reaper, and God, why did he just walk those over the Marines? So he just lost that whole drop and the medevac.
Ouch.
Of course, using the Raven harassment here with the auto turrets, forcing him to pull off the mineral line for a few seconds here, which every second counts overall long term. So we'll see if he can keep doing more of that. Actually, it'd be kind of fun if he could build some more Ravens and do that a lot more, put a bunch of auto turrets all over the place. I mean, this map does set itself up quite nicely for that, because you have those great approaches by air where they just can't even touch you. So
yeah, and actually during that time, Ferfe was trying to get up an expansion at his greedy natural expansion, not the backdoor safe natural expansion, and StarLife's Banshee ended up delaying that for a very long time. But their command center could have been out by now, but instead it got taken out, the SCV got taken out, and StarLife halted a third base very quickly, and that's actually allowing him to tech up and get a fairly good lead in the fact that he's got an orbital command morphing inside his main base. So that's still pretty good. Ferfe does have his own command center inside his main base built thing, as he couldn't get the expansion. Might as well throw it down inside the main base. And all these Marines with the medevac support are running around from StarLife/Stake. Should be able to take out a few Marines. Oh no, there are a lot of Vikings going to be able to snipe off one of those medevacs. They do, but there's a stim. One Viking falls, and another one takes half damage. So StarLife just lost a medevac. That's kind of significant. But a few Marines are running around, going to try and snipe off this one Marine from Ferfe. This is a really determined Marine battle from these guys, and it looks like StyleLife will be able to take out that guy. Wow, Ferfe's even trying to get this expansion on the right. StyleLife should be able to take that out.
Being very, very aggressive with these expansions and trying to get that economic lead, which, you know, that's always a smart thing to do, but he's not really in a position where his army's located to take those types of expansions safely at this point. But we'll see what StyleLife does here. I mean, obviously Ferfe is setting himself up here, trying to entrench himself in, so he has 3 bases active, which he should be able to hold that. But that 4th is definitely pushing it a little bit. You don't want to spread yourself out too much, because StyleLife will just be like, alright, I'll kill you, like he's doing right now with these Marines going in, taking out those 2 Vikings. Just kind of waste at that point. Now he's bouncing back and forth, going to deploy these 4 siege tanks, waiting for him to walk in, not going to take the bait for now. Just going to entrench himself right in the middle of the map there. I mean, that's right where he needs to be. You see the middle of the map, you basically have complete control if you can cut all the corners, but loading up Ferfe now loaded up a medevac with 8 Marines, so he's going to try and do a little octa drop. Probably at the natural, it looks like, on the angle he's approaching, but we'll see.
There's an opening he should be able to take, but StyleLife's got a Viking there ready to take out this medevac, so this could be a little bit of bad part from Ferfe, but he does manage to drop all the Marines, so that meant Viking does get taken out. This means that the retreating for Ferfe can still happen, but there are some Marines going to go ahead and try and take out this siege tank. They might be able to, but it's going to be close, and StyleLife...
Wow, that was close. Good lord. And the medevac is still alive, too, which is a nice save on his part to have... He killed... The Viking was killed just in time, but he just lost it anyway. Okay.
All right. Oh, and
he's got another one coming in.
Yeah, well, Ferfe's also about to lose that command center on the middle right. It does get taken out now, and there is this another drop happening. 1 Marauder and 5 Marines. They're going to go directly on top of this mineral line as he's going to try and just sort of snipe off that siege tank, which he will be able to.
Yeah, that's why he mixed in the Marauder, so I get a little bit extra DPS coming in on there. And now picking off a supply depot. StyleLife just now coming in and reacting to it. Definitely did much more effective with this drop than the last one. Still hanging out. Should be pulling out right about now if he wants to save them, and they're going to die anyway. Ouch. But definitely a much more effective drop than the previous one. You know, coming in there with that 1 extra Marauder and just murdering the siege tank and then doing significant damage to that expo.
Yeah, but amidst all of this, StyleLife is actually ahead in the food count by 2 or 1 or something. It just keeps on changing as some units do end up dying. As you guys are in kind of a bit of a siege tank war in the middle, trying to get positions on the watchtowers and the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, StyleLife obviously in a little better position here since he has his tanks entrenched already in the middle there, but actually going to unsiege them now and move creeping up towards where that 4th was. Now,
he's wait! Look at the unit count for a second. I'm just going to interrupt you completely.
We have another drop coming down on the left-hand side. The natural was dropped once again. Ferfe being very aggressive with these drops. I mean, it works. It distracts StyleLife sufficiently, but the main army now coming in, because StyleLife just had enough of this. He's going to try and push here and do or die. Actually, just kind of waltzing into the main base here. Not really anything holding it, because the siege tanks were out of position on the left-hand side. These Marines are just kind of having a field day in Ferfe's main right now.
Okay, just look at the unit counting station for a second and look at the SCV count of these 2 players, because right now it's 110 to 53.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, StyleLife here is just tearing apart the macro abilities of Ferfe. Like, he lost a couple of production structures already. Now finally reacting to it with these siege tanks, but they're just going to die as well because they weren't deployed yet. I think that StyleLife may have just won himself the game here with this push.
Well, there's literally 20 food of army from Ferfe because he's got 110 SCVs, while StyleLife has 53 SCVs and a 50 food lead count. He literally has double the economy. I mean, double the army of Ferfe, while Ferfe's got double the economy of StyleLife.
Not quite sure what he was going for with 110 SCVs. I mean, now it makes more sense, I guess. I wasn't actually paying attention to that number as much amidst all this action here. I mean, StyleLife, you know, that's sure great. Have 100 supply worth of SCVs and a huge economy, but if your opponent masses Marines, as StyleLife has done, he'll just waltz in and kill you. Although, yeah, he tried to get that planetary done there and failed, so there's another command center down. Ferfe's done, really, at this point. I don't see him being able to come back from this. His main is mined out. His natural is almost mined out, and those were his only 2 active bases at this point. So he's pretty much done. Especially since StarLife has 10 tanks sieged up right by his ramp. There's nothing he can do.
Yeah, probably he drops him for a fee. That's basically his only chance. But look at all these SCVs just sitting around. Right now, Ferfe went for economy, and now he's got literally 3 mining mineral patches that he can actually use, and they are going away very quickly. That 15 in that one, 65, 5. He's about to live 1 mineral patch as this one becomes the last one. Wow.
Yeah, I'm really just waiting for StarLife to come in here and make the final push at some point. Gonna drop those units and blow up some siege tanks. Kind of a smart little sacrificial lamb move there. Obviously, the splash damage will kill quite a few of those siege tanks on their own, on Ferfe's behalf. But at this point, StarLife's like, woohoo! You killed 2 of my siege tanks. I still have, 7.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, this game is completely turned around because all of a sudden,
how many scans was that?
That was
a little bit of a manners scam there, I guess. Yeah. I think StarLife is pretty much like, all right, dude, come on, you know the game's over, just GG already. But that's a new one, man. I've never seen a manners scan like that. That was quite amusing, actually.
Wait, Ferfe's going in for the 23-minute SCV all-in as they get decimated by these tanks. Oh my god. The SCVs are just losing their lives so quickly.
It's funny, since StarLife is killing his own tanks and doesn't really care, but it's... wow. I don't know what he's planning on doing here, Ferfe. Like, I admire his dedication and the fact that he's still trying to do something. Yay, I got a mining base, but let's see. How many Marines?
He's going to have 2, though. He's got another oil command floating around somewhere. But he's just landing it to get out the mules, I think.
Yeah, just on that. Because, he's got to build something. If he doesn't, now here comes StarLife again with this massive Marine army. Just going to be like, hi, guys.
Yeah.
Command Center almost dead, but not quite burning yet.
But there's his stem, and Stav's ignoring all these SCVs, just going straight for the tanks. That's what he's got to do. Ferfe is gone. You can see some more scanning happening up in the top. As StarLife, he's got this. The last orbital command is going to go down, and that should be the cue to GG from Ferfe. Because Stav's now just go ahead ignoring SCVs. He's going to go for every single production facility, and he'll be able to take them out incredibly quickly. As StarLife has actually got I don't think the upgrades that much. He's only at 1-1 right now. He's producing 19 Marines at once, though, so that's pretty solid. Yeah,
Ferfe really is actually going to make StarLife. Yeah, all right. I was going to say, if you don't quit now, you've... manner. But still interesting, nonetheless. But StarLife just overpowered him.